So I'll start now. Okay, since we need to be on time, so I'll try my best to explain everything and share with you my thoughts. Everything within 25 minutes. So just a quick recap, and thank you very much, Sis Santi, for the introduction. So I'm actually working together with my research team and my teaching teams together. So I'm not a person who do everything by myself. So I work together with teams and I have good networks as well. That's why it gives me the opportunity to apply for awards. And yeah, I received more than 25 awards in 3 portfolios as academic. I have awards in teaching, I have awards in research, and also in service and leadership. And because of that, working as a team and networks, I have national and international grants of more than Ringgit Malaysia 1.2 million, about more than 10 research grants, and more than 50 publications in book chapters, journals, and conferences. And last year alone, I have 2 copyright licenses for innovation. And this innovation is part of the research outcome from my research grants as well. Okay, so I thank Research Synergy and also the Polytechnic from Semarang for inviting me to be the keynote speaker of the theme of the conference. Yeah, so I believe previous keynote speaker has already shared with you a different insights about the data, AI, and also governance and policies collaboration. So my topic today is more on the power of collaboration in this sense, yeah, and how these 3 brothers, I would say, these 3 brothers or sisters, if you like to, redefine the 21st century in our current situation today, right? And yeah, so I think I will not go through every single thing about digital, the innovation, data, and also collaboration. But these 3 forces of brothers and sisters are actually the future of our world today. Okay. So before I start, I'm also okay for you, some of our audience, if you have questions, you can put in a chat box. Maybe I'll look into that after my presentation if we have time. Otherwise, I can put in the chat box of my email and you can email to me your questions and we can collaborate and communicate through that. Okay, so think about the challenges that we have faced today. Okay, we face issues like climate change. We face issues like the COVID-19, the global health. We face issue with global economic, sanctions, economic situation, and of course, situation like war, which we would like to avoid. So because of these challenges, there's no single country and there's no single company that can solve everything. Okay. So for too long, we operate in silos. Since the revolution time, a lot of companies, they keep their data, they keep their information alone. Okay, and we work in silos. In my company, I work together. I don't work together with others. And those in the same company or same industries, we are actually working as competition. So we are competing in a race in a global economy with no real winners, actually. If we look at the top companies, they all have their own innovation, like the one that NVIDIA is looking into AI now, collaboration. So nobody is working alone, but the powerful shift is happening now. So you see that there are a few big companies start working together. So no longer saying that this is my area and this is my product, so you cannot share or you cannot work together. Okay. So digital innovation, as we know, there are AIs, Internet of Things, blockchain, and cloud infrastructure, which allow us to, review patterns of strategies that we have never seen before. Meaning to say that we are actually sharing a lot of platforms together in the AI, ChatGPT, for example, where all the information is fed into it. And we are also looking at forces like data science, analytical, all this. They are not operating in isolation, but they are actually intersect, okay, together. So we see, for example, like data from let's say, for example, data from Germany that has been used for supply chain in Brazil, and this whole software is built in India, and the users are actually all around the world from many countries. So we are looking into moving away from holding knowledge to sharing intelligence. So it's not just about working side by side, but it's about weaving together our efforts. Yeah. And again, this is actually more on collaboration. So that's why here I'm actually looking at the global collaborations that we can work together. Okay. So the power of collaboration indeed is where the transformation is actually happening right now. So if you follow the news, we know that there are a lot of directions that has been given to UN, to us. Okay, so a recent UN report that 70% of SDGs could be achieved through digital technologies and cross collaboration. So they don't say, UN doesn't say that, oh, we need technologies for everything. No, in fact, it all comes back to collaboration again and working together. Okay, so 70% of SDGs, that means a lot. The number actually means a lot. Okay, it means that we have to handle the world problems from, for example, like from poverty to climate actions. And it's no longer just something that we ought to do, but it's something that we can do as a market, and collaboration is an opportunity. So we have seen, for example, some companies come up with boat to clean the rivers in the third world countries, ships or technology to use to recycle some of the things. So it's no longer produced in the country, but it's actually produced for worldwide. Okay. So old model like competition is no longer the same already. So we need to know how to collaborate, and it becomes a competitive strategy. Okay. So in other words, digital innovation connect us through, for example, cloud. We share the same thing. Data science means using business intelligence to help us to share the truth out of the data. And then when we combine this in terms of different sectors, for example, industry, public, governance, private NGOs, then we know that we are growing a new type of collaboration that is competitive, yet it is strategized to help to create something new, to help to create stable markets, healthier population for us to do business together. And it's not a win-win situation, but we are trying the best to collaborate to find the best way for us to do business, okay, in the world, right? So collaboration is a new currency for success. We often being told about success of big companies like, Tesla, Microsoft, okay, even Amazon, all built from their garage, okay, one person who come up with the idea. So that was a long time ago, but we know that this big company success comes from collaboration also. Okay, so later on, I'll share with you 3 case studies, because I think we learn through success stories and we learn through examples. Okay, so what I would like to give to you or share with you is that collaboration helps because challenges like rising complexity, cybersecurity, global supply chain, and rapid digital transformation requires different industry and different stakeholders to work together. So there's a limitation of working in silos as well, because nowadays business and digital, we work through data. So when we need data, we cannot work alone. We need talent, we need technology, and we need a lot of data feeding, okay, information. And lastly is the competitive advantage. So we cannot work alone because individual capabilities may not be able to know a lot of things, but we can actually work together for a collective ecosystem and to orchestrate them. Okay. So when we think about digitalization, so the first thing you probably know is the dashboard like this. Okay, very nice statistics, very nice global statistics, okay, very nice information that can help you. Okay, so the dashboard is a very colorful charts, but in 21st century, now we do not look at very nice, statistics, but we actually look at the values lie behind those reporting. So it's not just looking into shapes or like the statistic here, histogram or graphs, but it's more on what comes next. What can you do next? Okay. So digital and data can help us to predict, okay, information like the supply chain, where real-time data and AI can work together to participate together to predict disruptions and global uncertainties. Okay. This is made possible through the global supply chain, meaning nowadays we see, how fast our logistics can actually happen, sending parcels here and there, okay? So all this can be done through data, okay? But it cannot be just used for data, but this data can be used to collaborate further with different supply chains, okay? Next one is hyper-personalized customer experience. So this is actually something that you and I already face. Okay, we face, for example, Netflix. So I give an example like Netflix. You guys watch Netflix, and how do we actually know that Netflix is different from the other channels before? It's because they have content creation and they tailor people's interests and they collaborate with different partners. You see, their movies or their dramas are actually collaboration from them with different publishing, different agencies of talents and movies and also producers. So this is why they are different from other platforms, okay, like YouTube, for example, okay, YouTube movie or YouTube drama. So this is what we can actually collaborate to give a better customer experience. And lastly is AI driven. So we know that there's a machine learning, meaning they are looking into innovations that human alone or company alone cannot achieve. So this is made possible through different industry, for example, drugs or healthcare. So AI can actually help to do better research outcome, to do better development of healthcare services, for example. Okay, so I gave you an example of Netflix that helps with customer experience. They also help with digital distribution, being part of the supply chain. And Netflix actually help a little bit on the development of different movies, different dramas that help with competitive advantage, working together with different partners. We may not know who are their partners, but apparently they actually have a lot of partners. That's why they have unlimited supply of dramas and also movies in their platform. Okay. So I just share with you 3 case studies. So the first case study is about pharmaceutical. So remember during COVID time, okay? I remember when it comes to vaccination. In fact, studies about vaccination comes for many, many years. For example, like tuberculosis, even to the extent of meningitis. So those vaccinations take many, many years of studies. But when we look at COVID-19, when it comes to vaccination of COVID, it only takes several months or even 1 year for vaccination to come up. For example, the Pfizer's and NZ, remember? Okay, and from China, they also have. So how can it be done? Because vaccination for tuberculosis took more than 50 years, okay? And that's why we can see the power of collaboration here. Okay, so there's a company called Melody here. So it stands for Machine Learning Ledger Orchestration for Drug Discovery. Okay, now this Melody project, what does it do is that we have a lot of pharmaceutical companies that exist in the world. There are many. So one country probably have up to 3 to 4 or even 20 pharmaceutical companies. So different companies, they have researchers, R&D, and they come up with their own vaccination, okay? So because if they work in isolation, meaning their data are not being shared among all the same industry. But this Melody project actually helped to keep the data with all the pharmaceutical who share information, and they develop a single successful drugs for health. Okay, so COVID is actually one of the example how collaboration becomes a solution here. When all the pharmaceutical, they study about COVID virus, they come up with their own information about vaccination, how the virus behave. And then this Melody project actually collaborate with them. So they through this, they still kept the data private, but they train the AI to somehow manipulate or at least come up with an idea of similarities, results, and whatnot. So the results are very transformative because with the shared AI here, they combine the data, they still keep the information, but somehow they have they call it the results of the collaboration, which help to solve problems. Okay. So meaning to say they can accelerate faster results for drugs discovery in this sense. Okay, so that's why the rivals collaborate and the discovery actually, the challenges is that discovery for traditionally is very slow, but with the shared model and private data, the AI can pick up collective data together without any breach of or sharing of a lot of privacy or information, and they accelerate the breakthroughs through the life-saving drug development within the time. So it's very fast now. So it's just like, okay, maybe layman term is I have a recipe, cooking recipe that I have, that Miss Santi has also, and then we have Miss Marianne have another recipe, but I don't share it with you all. We all have our own cooking recipe, which is very good. Then when it comes to sharing, maybe let just now Dr. Dottie actually come up with, okay, let's have a potluck. So everybody bring their own. So when we bring our own, I don't share my recipe, but everybody share that my cooking is like this is the outcome, this is the outcome. And maybe Miss Dr. Dottie say, okay, why not we combine all the good things about our recipe and come up with a new thing, a new recipe now. So I still keep my recipe, but I shared some of my good ones with the rest. And because of this, the results of that is that maybe Miss Santi don't need to come up with a new recipe. Maybe they can combine all this info and come up with a new one within just the potluck session. You see, so how powerful collaboration is. Yeah. Okay, case study number 2 is about revolution, so creating trust and transparency. So I will keep this short in the sense that, the global supply chain, the delivery, when you order online, things from different countries, things come to you within 2 weeks, okay? These are happening because of the power of trust and transparency. And there is one platform called TradeLens, TradeLens, TradeLens that help with these processes. So they have data standards for platform, for that protocol, contracts, shipping companies, ports, and authorities. So they help with all the processes. So that's why the supply chain is very fast. When you order something online with different countries, it can arrive in your doorstep within 2 weeks to 1 month. Yeah. And case study number 3 is very easy. Everybody knows Spotify, right? Okay, Spotify has always been very successful because they also use collaboration. They actually help the agencies, talents in terms of their sharing of their artists' work or music. So a lot of them are unpaid, but because of Spotify, they actually get people to collaborate and customers to pay accordingly. So this model actually works because it has a data-driven transformation. It helps with personalization and everything. Yeah. So this is another personalization using collaboration. Okay. So there are challenges, of course. So I come to the last part already. So there are challenges. So there are alignment, because different countries have different standards. There are tax also when it comes to payment, trust issue of data, and also IP ownership. Yeah, IP ownership if there's something new being created through collaboration. So how do we overcome it? We have to come up with an agreement. We have to create trust, okay, charters. We have to appoint architects or people who come from neutral stance to help with different system and process. And lastly, also partnership and legal issues that they can actually come together. Okay. And my last slide is last two slides will be how do we actually embrace innovation and collaboration means we have to prioritize system to work together, meaning we don't do something that only our own good, but also for the point of sharing solution with collaboration or potential collaborators. We also need to share data standards so that there are formats or protocol that we can actually share. Reduce integration barriers means we use technology to make sure that information are shared together, okay? So that all systems are for mutual benefits. So one of this is actually using cloud, okay? Cloud infrastructure where everybody, upload information and there's a standard data and also integration happening. And lastly, we have to build ecosystem compatibility, meaning we need to have a system that helps with networks of partners, suppliers, and even competitors, because collaboration means we collaborate with our own competitors as well sometimes. Okay, so in conclusion, we need to collaborate, but it's easier said than done. We need to know how to have collaboration networks, and we, from pharma to logistics to music, every single industry, we need to make sure that we are stay connected in an ecosystem, okay? And we need to build trust, process, and governance before the collaboration projects, okay? All in all, with the team conference today, it's all about data, AI, and also collaboration. Human is still needed here, okay? Because human interaction is still there, all right? It's still needed. And that's where I think Dr. Doty, in terms of Generation Z, we still need to understand how human behavior works in this collaboration. And lastly, we need to look into quality over quantity, meaning getting profit is still very important for business, but quality ensure long-term success. Okay, all right. So I hope I did not pass through the time. So I think that's all from me. And if you have any questions, you can always email to me, or if you need a future collaborators or network, I'm happy to be one of your connection here as well for research or for sharing. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hope I'm in time.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Bibi, for sharing your thought and also your insight with us, which is related with the collaboration powers, we can say like that. And we also know that from your slide and for your explanation that there are three parts or three brother or sister, whatever you can mention it, you can name it. But the digital innovations, the data science itself, and one more is the global collaborations. And I think based on your explanation and one of the, what is it called? One of the role, not the only one, of course, but
Yes.
the one is really play what the crucial part is the technology, because the technology never, never push back. I mean, they always going forward, they always move forward and faster. Okay, so I think we can address one or two questions. Okay, so let me read the question for you. Okay, hold on. All right, so we have the questions. I hope that this is still still available or still eligible for you, although this is very specific to certain area. Yeah, the question is coming from Dr. Doni Sajweza from the Philippines. So he asking about the AI tools. that you are using for forecasting, particularly in terms of the supply chains? Because actually, Dr. Doni has the subject, yeah, about the supply chain management itself. Yeah.
Okay, I think, thank you for the questions. I think AI tools are many, and it all depends on the industry, yeah. I may not have the AI tool for supply chain because, to be honest, I'm an academician, so I'm not a business person, but I can recommend that industries can look into companies that produces or at least develop or vendors that develop AI tools for supply chain. So companies like SAP, I know SAP, AWS, Amazon, AWS, or even IBM, they, because supply chain for certain industry or certain companies are very unique. You may not have, very one size fit all kind of software for supply chain. So, Donnie, I may not have a specific one, but I can recommend that if you are doing research in supply chain management using AI tool, you can look into big vendors or software developers like IBM, AWS, and SAP. So these are the vendors or software developers that help companies to build their supply chain. And nowadays they incorporate AI in it. But again, like I said, as AI itself, it actually meaningless. It actually fit into your data. Okay, it needs your data to predict the forecast. So your data has to be analytical data like historical data, historical patterns, market trends, real life or real time information, your market information. So these are the software that can use AI to predict using the data that you have. Yeah. Okay. So it is not something that we can say, well, SAP product is the best. No, because it all depends on the company's processes for supply chain. So I hope I answer your question here.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
I think it's give another insight, Dr. Bibi, through your answer to the question itself.
Okay.
So I think the one that can understand better the context which supply chains is the person. Yeah, I mean, like what you are looking for. I mean, which industry that you are looking for, and you may refer on that.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Okay.
Because
And
supply chain can be a lot. It can be from
exactly.
logistic. It can be online, purchase, tradings. So supply chain itself is very big. So if you do a research that is based on AI in supply chain forecasting or this, then it might be great if you like to be a more targeted industry, then you can actually search for the AI tools that they use.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. And perhaps this is the last questions, Dr. Bibi. So
Yeah.
there are some
Rest, I
same
can
questions.
put in the
However,
chat.
however, I think we can address with the recommendations. So whether you recommend the use, particularly the AI, I think not only the AI, but the thing that you already mentioned before, including the data science also, in the business operation itself. Would you recommend it, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think, we cannot say that we don't want to use AI because it's already part of our life. It's the same thing with academics. So a lot of academicians also ask me, can we ask our student to use AI, or can I block AI or not? So it's the same thing with business operation. I think it comes to the point that you have to consider, or businesses have to consider, the use of AI properly in their business operation. Yeah. Okay. The thing is that if we use AI to shorten or to make our business processes easier or effective or more efficient, then I think it is okay. All right, because when it comes to human, we actually need more human analytical skills to make decision making. But certain information can be used by AI to generate certain reports. So the most important thing, what I can actually say on the usage of AI in business process, is that these AI tools should be used ethically and should be used for the benefit of the business processes efficiency. Okay, it should be used ethically. So you don't use AI to do something magic or creative accounting, you know. Okay, so we need to analyze the use of AI. So there are pros and cons. So this is where we need to know that AI in business operation, what are their real functions? So if the real function is to make it more effective, make it more efficient. For example, I want to know, okay, what are our market report for this geographic location? AI can actually do that based on our records. Rather than you ask a person, then it may take 2-3 days to come up with a report for you. So AI can be used for that, and you make the decision based on the AI report. So that is good, in my opinion. Okay.